Hello, DayZ World. I'm the Greedy Peasant, and welcome to the Peasent Podcast. Get comfortable as we sit by the fire and chat everything DayZ. We are live from the TGP minigame server with the podcast team. TikTok creator Smiley's Got a Gun, long-term DayZ console player ADKQ, and chat controller and security Queen Peasant. Of course, we have the DayZ community here as well. Here at TPP, we want to hear what you have to say, so drop your thoughts and your opinions in chat. This podcast gives the voice to the DayZ console people, so welcome everybody to the Peasants Podcast. We're going to be talking about our main subject, which is console more secure and reliable for playing DayZ or for compared to PC gaming? And we're going to dive right into that. We definitely want to hear what you have to say. There's a lot of people that bounce across to the PC world, especially looking for those quality of life perks. PC has quite a lot to offer, especially in a lot of games. So yeah, we want to dive into it. Let's get into it. Of course, it's looking pretty today. Mr. Q in the house. Hello, good sir.
Morning.
Looking absolutely ravishing as ever.
Yeah, well, we had to get a quick reset because our little toxic Avengers down below us has ruined all the gear store.
Yeah, took all his shit. Yeah, that is starting to become a little problem. Not really. People play dress-ups. We get our little, all the items that are actually in the server so we can dress up our guests and, of course, ourselves. Peasant's usually a little lazy. He just prefers what the standard wear is because it's easy. Grab a cowboy hat and we're done. But yeah, we do have to have a little reset to get our clothing sorted. So what's happening on the agenda, my friend? Anything new this week?
Work. Too much bloody work. Not enough time on DayZ.
Yep. Good old holiday period is finished and we're all dragged back to our usual lives. Yeah, so we have to now miss out on gaming and delve into the world of slave working. So that's the joys. The joys.
Tell you what though, we certainly make up for it on a Saturday night. Last night's console cult run was amazing.
I tell you what, we spent 2 hours on the DMR track. It felt like 5 minutes. There was only a few of us, and fuck, that was hectic.
Yeah, it's definitely my funnest minigame yet. It's awesome, that one.
Yeah,
I'm not biased. It's not because there's a VSD in there or anything like that.
Your favourite weapons in there, readily available on multiple occasions. But it was brutal. We were on last night. Mr. Lemons joined us straight off the bat from Zagoria, and we flogged it out for a couple of hours. We did some racing and some boats after you left, and I think we finished it on shotguns, which was pretty cool. So, yeah, every week, 12 hours ago, 15 hours ago, we kick off a community run on console where we do some mini games and just sit and laugh and carry on and kill each other. So, yeah, been absolutely wicked. No, I can't show you how to get up there. You need a cheat to get onto the Only Up. Cold ginger turmeric tea. Yuck. Sounds absolutely delightful. We're going to dive into today's topic. It's pretty hot. I sort of ran through it in our intro a little bit. Apparently a recent event happened to the PC DayZ servers. Clone servers were flooded under the same IP address into the service list, and all servers will come up having max pops and queues. It left the PC world without a clean platform to play, with server disconnections and servers not appearing. and unable to connect. Now, we've also heard recently through, some of the devs and stuff like that they had a blackmail in, so maybe it's related to that. Pretty scary stuff. Pretty scary stuff. So, what I want to relay to, of course, the console people and also the PC people out there, is a few of the questions I have to run down with, which are, they're not just a yes or no run through. So, with the evolution of the internet and the speed of growth in which the internet has, does console gaming hold the more secure network for the player? What's your thoughts, Mr. Q?
Well, it is definitely a lot more protected. I mean, the issue that's been happening with the PC servers isn't just a DayZ issue, believe it or not. It was happening a few months ago to quite a few other games as well.
Yep.
Whether it's a part of, as you said, that whole blackmail thing or not, I don't know. But I think definitely we're a lot more protected on console. We don't have to deal with a lot of the cheats that happen on official that PC gets. That's real rough. They get on officials, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, you are 100% right. It's not the first time it's happened to a brand or anything like that. There has been other instances of, mass DDoSing and clone servers and things like that. It may be just a hacker group going around thinking they can flex on devs and stuff and try and make some monies out of it. But yeah, being more.
I mean, I believe that.
There you go.
Console servers can still get DDoS, can't they?
Yeah, 100%.
You can still shut down a console server if you want to. So it isn't just PC based, that problem. We're just lucky that it hasn't hit us yet.
That's it. And Phoenix brings up a very big point. Console is secure until it isn't. Sony have been hit before. We know Sony got massively hit with all their records and all their player data basically leaked into a massive file that was then distributed on the dark web. I believe from what I know that the Xbox has probably the most secure, known secure network out there. It has yet to be publicly hacked. Whether it has been on the sly or not, who knows? I know there's a lot of things that people bounce around and get codes and code generators, so you need to... you got a shit echo in. What do you mean you got a shit echo in? I don't know why you got a shit echo. Might be the voice, Mr. Serial Slayer. But yes, so... do we know what are some of the restrictions with DayZ on console that PC do not have?
Well, I know a lot of it, the way they have the admin tools and stuff like that, so you can do a lot of backdooring and stuff through PC, which you can't allow in console.
Well, especially with mods, and we've had incidents already with mods having key trackers in them. So mods having that restriction on a console environment. Sorry, we're just rolling through. We've got a little sound issues in the what do you call it, but I think it's Serial Slayers. Yeah, okay. That's very traumatizing for a streamer to hear that his sounds all echoing. Sound issues is this. Yeah, you're good. As long as we're all good. But yeah, so I mean, basically we have file restrictions, we have mod restrictions, we have a lot of restrictions when it comes to customizing our mods and loading screens. So, you know, these sorts of things, would they improve the game?
I guess that's why the Microsoft is not so easily just handing over saying your console can have mods. Is because they are worried about things like that happening to us, so they want to make sure that things are super secure before they give a green light, which is well understandable. I mean, hell, I couldn't imagine shit like that happening to us on console.
Yeah. And especially, you know, in the feet of a streamer. You know, they cop it all the time when they're on official DayZ servers where they're getting stream sniped and hackers, you know, shoot them across the actual map. But to have your stream prepared to play and then all of a sudden you have this sort of event occur where you can't even get on a server. And I mean, I know a lot of them are multi-variety streamers, and they'll just switch to a different game. But some of them aren't. Some of them only just play DayZ. So, you know, that must have been quite detrimental. You know, and especially for some of the big streamers. We all know that numbers these days in the stream world and the viewing world have gone down. People have gone outside and started to explore the world, and getting out there. So, you know, some of this is detrimental to people's incomes.
Yeah, well, that's right. I mean, what do they do? What's their only other option was to go play official on PC, and pretty sure they don't want to do that because that just opens up a whole nother ball game for them. At least if they're playing on the community servers, there's a lot of restrictions, you know. People aren't getting away with the abusive chat that happens all the time, and they're not getting sniped from across the map. So that does affect them, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. Let's see. First thing I did was uninstall, and then it said it to be fixed. Oh, I had the issue with the PC mod I had on City Skyline, but luckily I didn't play the game when it was hacked. So even City Skylines had that sort of thing happen. Bro, Armory Forger playable server was fire, but owner shut it down. Oh, I haven't delved much into the Armory Forger and their mods. It was an Armored DayZ mod to see it shut down. Actually, I have seen that. That particular mod, Mr. If you go watch Very Silent Bob, he tends to play a lot of DayZ and Armor. And the DayZ Armor mod he actually was on last night. So, Cyril, you might be able to find it for Mr. Very Silent Bob where that DayZ mod has gone. Yeah, Queen, I sorted that one out. And that leads into my next question. Like, what do we secure from with the current policies that are in place with DayZ console gaming? Well, obviously, hackers on official, or the interlace of hacks in mods, that sort of threats from personal DDoSing. You can never stop hackers attacking the main systems. You can stop. You can be secure from your own Xbox in your own home, but I don't think you could secure the servers completely. Like if I released the IP address of this particular server, someone could DDoS it easily and turn it into a 1 frame per second server. But there's not much they could really do apart from filling it with more items on JSON files, and then the recovery for it would be pretty easy. I mean, when it comes to the PC world, even in the streaming world, there was a streamer who had his stream key hacked, and they then played hardcore porn on his stream, and there was nothing he could do.
Shit.
Nothing he could do. Because once you lose your stream key, you lose control. So it was all his record, all his hard work, all his stuff up. And he got his stream key hacked, and then they played hardcore porn over it till basically Twitch banned him.
That's crazy. So I've heard similar things happening to people's YouTubes as well, where their YouTube's pretty much been taken over, and they haven't been able to get access to it. And that is a nightmare to be able to get access back. Once you lose that access, there's a bit of a rigmarole, especially if people start changing emails and
Yeah,
quite a nightmare.
wiping your identity out. So in some cases, I suppose, we are very, very secure. But security has a price, which is, of course, freedom. If we could go, the hierarchies decide that we could see all the files and give us the choice of full lawless control or the current security, what would your choice would be? Would you keep it with the security it is, or would you prefer the complete control, but then you had to be the security?
I mean, that's a hard one because if it gives us access to the same things that PC have, I think you'll find a lot of people will take the security on themselves. They really would. Whereas I think it could be absolutely detrimental to the console community doing that, because we would open ourselves up for a lot of attacks and a lot of bad things happening. We'd open ourselves up to a lot of hackers actually getting in and be able to mess with people's server files.
A lot more drama, a lot more work for obviously the owners. But then would it inspire a new side of the industry where console server security would have to be, implemented? I mean, now we have ways of, sorting out old accounts, and, we govern our servers through bots and stuff like that. Will it open up industries of, hacker protection and stuff like that, people coding in new bots and stuff to be able to detect and... See, wherever there's a problem, there's always built growth.
Yeah. I mean, the hard thing is that you're also at the same time you'll have to deal with a lot of Microsoft's security laws, a lot of their what's the word for it? A lot of their
Their policies and procedures.
Yeah,
their
that's
terms
right,
and conditions.
So we wouldn't only have to deal with it ourselves, but we'd also have to walk that line of keeping Microsoft happy at the same time. Let's face it, the reason why we are so well protected and looked after, even compared to PlayStation, is because of Microsoft.
Yeah, that's right. They don't want... Well, they're governing and not only the Xbox network, but they're governing the Windows network. So a breach in Xbox is also a breach in Windows, which, Billy doesn't want that. He's always prided himself on his CNET security system, and it works well. It definitely works well. Phoenix says, filling your hard drive with mods, you don't need to release it. It appears when the server resets. Let's be realistic. Console players want all the mods and don't give a second thought about the issues it would bring, because they have no idea what the downside is. They just want all the cool stuff. A very good point there. 100%. bringing that freedom, we are very uneducated to what could happen, how it could happen, where we could be infiltrated, how we could be infiltrated. It's a totally different network than the PC world. So, there you go.
No, their PC's had a lot of time to deal with those issues, so they've figured the ways around it and how to sort it out. And as I say, if that came to console, it is a whole new ballgame for modders and coders to deal with.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I mean, hacking itself has been around years and years and years and years and years. Attacking corporations through IP access and stuff like that is not a new thing. So, we're going to be stepping into a realm of the unknown with, a real lack of security. And we've even had it where in the DayZ world, in the Nitrado world, where security's been breached from bot owners. A long time ago, one of the bot owners managed to basically shut the Nitrado network down for, I think it was 2 days, after they made a mistake and sent a wrong command out, and took out all the kill bots, took out every bot on console. Very scary time, and Nitrado got in there and patched it up and found the access point, and of course it can't happen again, but it just shows you you don't check for leaks until you see a drip.
It's all about stuff like that. It does make me think, as much as we bag on Nitrado, and Nitrado do a lot of good work for us. Because you imagine if we were like PC and hosted our own servers, how much of a nightmare that could become.
100%. And I mean, Nitrado's there for PlayStation, it's there for PC, it's there for Xbox. Xbox access is a little bit different. We run through the Xbox security, where PlayStation and PC deal direct with Nitrado. But managing your own standalone, all they'd have to do is DDoS your IP address. And if anyone doesn't know what a DDoS is, it's when they send multiple packets of information to the PC to the point that it all starts to bank up and slow down. So,
you can just imagine. I mean, I know people that use game exploits to do similar things to people's servers, just by exporting things in the game that do it. Could you imagine if console players that got salty would start doing that? They really would. They'd get on and they'd be like, "Oh shit, someone's going to raid my base." Right, let's start DDoSing so no one can play the server.
Yeah. I'll be home in 2 hours. I'll stop it then. Thinks it, and if it happens, Sony and Xbox will take the flak. Yeah. There is no company to go after for PC. That is correct. There is no provider, and I feel it's accepted at PC. That's an accepted risk, and I agree, Phoenix. 100%, I agree. As an IT technician back in the 1998s to year 2000, watching Y2K come in, I've been a PC person for the last 25 years. It is an acceptance of security on PC, and I find, with a big outcry and a big thing that went on with the last attack, that a lot of PC players don't understand the risk of what they're getting into. People see the bells and whistles of PC, especially PC DayZ, all the mods, all the the cool servers that are out there and stepping away from the console life and not understanding what they actually have with the console world. Noah said, I hope for any reason the internet will shut down forever. I think the internet's probably one of the best things that came around. Communication. We couldn't do what we do today. I couldn't be able to interact with people around the world. That's one of the biggest things that's happened. I've got to interact, especially in the last 5 years, gaming with some of the best people that I know. Mr. 303, I was part of a hacker group in the early 2000s, late 90s, early AOL days. Oh, Mr. 303, we should talk one day. Being an IT technician, I delved into stepping outside the line, as we say. It's definitely interesting when you know what can be done on the other side of how open it is. When I played official on PS4 before I got the PS5, the server I played on was consistently crashing and kicking certain people. Yeah, well, official and old gen don't mix. There should be no old gen capability. We should be moving up to new gen. We thought it was a DDoS, but it was 2 years back. It may have been. Noah says that's cool. Hydro, welcome. We're talking about subject is console gaming more secure than PC gaming? In a reflection of what happened on PC over last week. Sorry, Q, what did you say?
Oh God, I lost my train.
That's fine. Sorry.
Dog barking.
Yeah, that's fine. I get that too. Where you hear something on the outside, like, fuck, what was I talking about again? Noah says, man, I wish I could do some hacking shit or just code something. Very cool just to see code some shit these days. You know what? The hacking element has become an industry. You can go and find websites. If you see, what's his name? He's known as the Wizard. There's a YouTuber and his name's Thor. He's a security analyst for Blizzard Games, and he does a lot of talks about hacking these days, where you can go and collect bounties and stuff like that. Yeah, Thor is great. Where you can collect bounties and get into the world of ethical hacking, where, if you can hack an iPhone and get into an iPhone, Apple will give you $1 million. So there's a lot of companies out there who want you to try and hack their shit ethically, and will pay big cash.
Or there's even these guys I watch, and they hack scammers. So they hack scammers, call centers and stuff like that.
Oh, I watch those guys. Is it do you watch the singles or the 5 of them that work together?
Nah, a couple of single.
Yeah, because there's the guy who used to work for NASA who does the bombs, and he's joined them. He did the glitter bombs that you sat on the porch, and then people would steal, and then he had the 4 cameras. He does that, and there's another guy who does high tech hacking through your little flick or your flipper. And then there's a guy, yeah. But that's good quality hacking. They hack their call centers. They shut down their systems. They record everything. They take all the data, and then they go across and they give it to the authorities. Make a try. No, you would be killed. That's playing with fire. You would be erased off the system.
Especially the part of the world you live in.
Yeah, so even Gaz said there's guys that hack the call center scammers. But that's something you can get involved with. And when you're looking at someone who does this for a living and then plays DayZ and gets shits with the admins, this is something they could easily do. Phoenix, does anyone else find it hard to get pop on their DayZ servers? 100%, bro. You're looking at 3 months of hard work. 3 months at least before you even start looking at population, especially if you like anyone else.
Yeah, I think that's been a thing that's been going around for years, is trying to keep the pop-up on your servers and how to game pop. Dedication, hard work, consistency.
Game's not...
Having a good, I think...
Yeah, go.
Sorry.
No, you go.
Well, having a good an idea, for your server, having something that stands out from the rest is something that'll help you maintain pop. At least bring pop in.
Yeah, that's the big how to. If you can work out how to get and keep pop, you just do it. Feel like the game is dying. No, it's not that. We are finally seeing it going back to normal. I mean, for those people that spent their life in the gaming bubble of COVID and started there, you don't know what it was like previous to that. DayZ didn't have a lot of players. There were struggle points in DayZ's life where they had 2,500 people playing it in total. So when you're looking at, they infiltrate their numbers, 70,000, 35,000. There's probably about 10,000 people playing DayZ on a consistency, on over both consoles, and maybe a little bit more on PC consistently. So it's a game that you play when you don't want to play anything else, or there's nothing else to play.
Facts. I mean, everyone has to take a break from DayZ every now and then. If you don't, you burn yourself out. I mean, I've had burnout patches 3 or 4 times over the years of my playing.
Yeah, 100%. I've done it myself. And a lot of games go through that. They have an update. The update battled with Black Ops 6. It battled with Stalker 2. A lot of gamers can't stay on a game anymore. Too many crazy updates. I don't know. I think if you played DayZ back in the early days, you would appreciate how it is now. I think that's where I get my sentimental value from. Like, it's smooth as butter. You can drive. Man, we got boats. Look, I could build this shit. You know what I mean? And it took me like a couple of hours to build, not having to pinpoint every single piece in its direction and type it all in by code. So I do think it's come a long way, but it's
I think Noah brings up a good point about that. That there are a lot of players that have just started playing, and maybe even the last year or so, that don't have the appreciation for how far the game has actually came.
Yeah. You are dead set correct then. Let's see, we go back 5 years ago. I feel like DayZ goes too much to Minecraft shit, too many crazy updates, shit gets boring. That's how I feel. 8,200 hours deep and not burned out, but play less. Yeah, Phoenix, I'm sitting at about 11,000, and I still find ways to inspire myself in it. I really don't like many other games. If you know what I mean. I love the broken, rusty style of games. If something is too perfect, it's shit. Yep. Paul don't know how bad shit is. My brain is broken out. Okay, so you're just rambling. All right.
Just staying on that conversation for a second. I'm actually amazed with the amount of servers and server styles that you've been through. Because I remember the years of you doing server reviews, yeah, and tagging along with you at the time as well. A lot of so many different servers. It was so hard to pinpoint one server or one certain play style that you enjoy because you're going through and you're seeing so many different styles of servers. It is amazing that you still, after all that time, find the love for just the base game.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what? It has been along the journey. It's I can't even put a server together that blows up. And I've sampled over 300 servers at least, and I still don't know the formula of how to get a high pop server like that I enjoy, that I want to be a owner of. Because if you can go out and give everyone everything they want, just do M4s and give everything they want, and you will get a community together, but you won't get the server that you want. And that's why I've moved across to what I've got now, which is the minigame server. Because it's easy, it's fast, it pulls all the elements of a server very neatly, very nicely, and no one has to drive around to it. There's no organisation, and I like that. It's nice and easy.
Yeah, it is good. It's certainly one of your better ones, that's for sure. But one that I actually extremely enjoy,
Yeah, I'm wrapped. I
for
want to
sure.
see how
So it
far I can
has
break it.
everything.
I want to put it to 100. I want to put it to 100 because it's got 14 games and get everyone to play the games simultaneously to see if I can break it. Yeah. Noah says, I like games that are not perfect. Now, you join a server and it's great, but it's not good enough for the people to play. Look at the stuff you play on 5 years ago. The rusty, crappy stuff is the best. No, I agree with that because I used to play 7 Days to Die in its first session, and me and the Queen got right into 7 Days to Die. And it had its own glitches and its own bugs. It would all of a sudden just shut down a dashboard and then wipe a whole cluster out of your build. So all of a sudden, what you had spent hours and hours and hours on would disappear, and you had to find a way to revert it back. Now you got all the good new stuff and feeling odd, fixing everything with duct tape is just better. Yeah, 100%. The old way was a lot easier, and we got adapted to it. And I think that's what new players find, that they find it quite hard to do all that sort of stuff. Like if you started 5 years ago and could get a fast track over a week of, this is your introduction to DayZ. This is what it was like. And then after a week, it then gave it to you what it's now. You'd be like, oh, this is so much better. Phoenix says, having a server has changed my time I spend on DayZ. It's mostly checking things out on the server. Before that, I played some official servers all the time, but it's gone now. And silly as it seems, it kind of feels homeless when it comes to officials. No, I agree. A lot of people move in ownership to DayZ Editor rather than to the game itself because, ownership has been a full-time career. We've heard from a lot of server owners from here of the hours they put into the server. You're talking 60, 70 hours a week. And it becomes a full-time job. So, going back, especially to officials. I know Matt on officials because of that reason. Has console DayZ community service suffered from a lack of growth because of the current security restrictions?
I don't think so. Not at all. Not the way server owners put out different servers these days. I think this bigger than what it ever has been.
And a lot more variety, I think, and a lot more depth.
Yeah, and more quality servers, like more quality builds that run smoother. We don't need to have the things that PC have to put out a server that's just as good as what they can release. That's been proven time and time again.
And especially with servers that they will, want to drag across to PC. They see the hype in the server in the community and want to jump on it. Phoenix brings up a good point here. PC servers moving into the console market annoys me because we can't compete with them.
Yes. Well, yeah, we can, because you have a look at the Karma Crew servers. We've got console servers that maintain pop just as good as they do.
Yeah.
So it's not as if that we can't compete. It's just they copy that style that people love to play. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to look at, like, it was something that was mentioned in in the latest spotlight. Someone was saying that you've got a lot of PC modders now putting their mods out to make sure they're compatible, not just for PC, but for Xbox and PlayStation as well.
Yeah, because the market's there. They're no longer formulating.
I mean, I don't think they have a bigger reach, Phoenix. I get what you're saying. Well, they have the reach that we could never get, but they don't have that reach in the console market.
No.
Yeah, they have the reach in the PC market, but not like we have it in our own market. Yeah, I mean, you look at Karma Crew, it's a good server, but it's not one that I'd go to and call home.
It's not always full. I've seen it. It seems to be a time schedule thing. I've seen it full pop with 20, queues, and then 12 hours later there's 7 people on. So they are definitely not the top of definitely not the top. If you're watching DayZ online, you're watching PC most of the time. Yeah, of course, and that's what part of the mission was, especially when I started, because all I could find was PC content. But it's especially in the spotlight, we had a PlayStation person with his tactics of PvP get mentioned. We had Project Lemons with Segoria's builds get mentioned, and of course the podcast. It has its segment on the spotlight, and that's direct with the PC. That 12 months ago, that never happened. It was very hard. I think the community in the console world has put a lot of effort in to be able to be recognised and really matured as a community, especially with lack of gatekeeping. Sharing information, collabing together to help populations grow. So, yeah. Stop going out. Do you think any of the companies involved in the DayZ console community engine suffer from a lack of growth or funding? So we're talking Nitrado, Microsoft, Sony, DayZ themselves.
I don't think they lack in funding. Well, we all know Nitrado makes a good packet from us, and I dare say Microsoft makes a whole heap. I'm one that's always said that I play my game through the Game Pass, so that way every month I can still be adding into the cash cow. And then there are a lot of players just like me that play like that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is stubbornness to growth is a big thing more than anything.
Stubbornness from
Especially
the companies or from the player base?
Yeah, more more so from the companies, I think. Like you look at like Nitrado, there's no reason why they couldn't give us bigger memory files in our Nitrado servers so we could add more things. But they won't because they're too stubborn because they know they're making enough money off what they can now, and it'll be more of an issue for them to upgrade them for us, similar to Minecraft servers.
Mm. No, that's definitely a good point. Is there a reason to give us that where it's not required? Well, and saying that in the depths of the DayZ communities, a little information surfaced that apparently Nitrado is struggling to have servers above 32 slots. I mean, we've known this for a little while that, a 50 pop, a 70 pop server is harder to run. You need to cut it back harder because, population then takes over as part of the server lag. And, 32's always been a spot, but there's a little talk going around that, even Nitrado themselves know that, a 32 slot or higher is detrimental for the server owner and can't have all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, well, that's right. I mean, you play on a lot of high pop servers, especially ones that don't have a hell of a lot of mods on them, that are basic as. You go into any big town and you still get stutter and jitter, even on a new jet. It does still happen. But then once the pop dies off and you're sitting at low to medium pop, that stutter's gone and it's running smooth.
Mm. Yeah, so the high pop really affects the server running. They try to take money for higher RAM, but if you don't read it right, it doesn't give you more RAM for DayZ. Yeah, that's right. There is no... See, in Minecraft, you can opt for better servers, you can opt for better upgrades, whereas in the other ones, some of the other ones, you can't do it. And I can understand Minecraft, popularity-wise, is a server machine basis where their server is standalone, where a DayZ Nitrado server is in a mainframe. So it's 5 or 6 servers running off one big unit. So therefore you can't just go in and add in. They're like virtual machines. So it's a whole different system.
That is a shame. But it's saying that, you can understand it because Minecraft is probably bringing them in millions,
Yeah.
10, 20 times the amount DayZ does.
Yes. He's in the middle of a show, Noah. Goose. So the question is now, where is the common ground between being secure and having the freedom to control your server how you see fit? Are we at the common ground now, or could there be things that could be improved?
I honestly think we are at where it needs to be. I mean, aside from, giving us our own, Nitrado giving us our own servers like we just talked about so we could increase the RAM and have better, smoother running, I think we're good. Privacy-wise, we're good. The amount of mods that we have, we can always have builder items. But apart from that, I think we are sitting at a good time for DayZ.
Yeah. I 100% agree. I don't... Like, it'd be very nice to have the load-in screens where you could do a custom load-in screen and things like that. But when it comes down to it, I've never seen the game be so flexible in the entirety that I've played it. So easy to control your server. I think we're at the hype or the high end of optimal console DayZ until it merges into wherever Armor Reforger is taking us. I'm hoping that the mods that they talk about are add-ins that everybody can just sort in, no problems at all. Community mods, I'm not too sure about, because there's always that risk of when you add a community mod that you are then allowing backdoor access. So, and security sometimes is the biggest thing. A lot of us have, internet banking and all that sort of stuff, and all our personal details, which can easily ruin your life. I mean, if you're a young fella and the biggest thing that you're doing is just getting up and gaming and going to school and stuff like that, you don't have those sorts of thoughts. But, when you've got a family and stuff like that, if all your income gets taken out, that's a big, 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 big loss. So I'm agree with Q. I'm happy where it sits.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is even Microsoft have issues like that. I remember quite a few years ago now when I was playing Fortnite quite a lot, and with microtransactions in Fortnite, I brought one thing that cost me like $19. I went to go buy something, and there was nothing on my card. I get home, check my internet banking, that $19 had to be taken out 5 times.
Holy shit.
I contacted Microsoft and basically said, look what's going on here. I only made one purchase, blah, 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 blah. That, you know what they turned around and told me? We'll refund it for you, but then we'll delete your Microsoft account.
What?
Shit.
What?
They were so rude about it. Yeah. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I was like, this is a problem on your end. And they're like, well, no, we can't show that it wasn't you that made the microtransactions. It was between you, Fortnite, and us, and somewhere in between it's gone wrong. And they were basically said that we can refund it for you, but your Microsoft account will be gone.
Yeah, because they'll get rid of the product.
Yeah. I was like, no way, I've spent way too much money on this account fuck it. I'll just take the hit.
Fuck. It's
crazy.
It's a very expensive skin for $95.
I tell you what it was.
Yep.
To be fair, it was back around season 1, so it's probably worth about that now anyway. Don't get me on to how much my Fortnite account was worth, please. Jesus.
Investing in skins.
Yeah. And thank God DayZ does not have microtransactions like that. I know we talk about microtransactions all the time, and how it'd be cool to just buy an extra little skin here, extra little skin there. No, thank you. It's a lot of money.
A lot more problems. Yeah, we're talking a fistload, and that's where companies dive into that, microtransactions, because of the profits it makes and how popular they are. People love them. People like the dance moves. People like to fucking have a different shirt or a fucking hat or something like that. And then, those that are still in the default wear get badgered for being in the default wear. So then it drives more people to buy new shit. So, Phoenix, 100%. I think they should add in the option to wear the anniversary shirt in the starting option, and maybe a Livonia shirt for the people that bought Livonia. That's it.
Yeah.
Number 9 and number 10 shirt, female, male, doesn't matter, but just something that you could say, hey, I was here for the 10-year anniversary, and hey, I was here to support Livonia for when it was bought.
Yeah, I don't understand why they haven't added that in. Well, I kind of do, because then they'd have to add it in for officials as well, and then it takes away from the feeling of official.
Yeah.
You can't realistically run around promoting your game in the middle of a zombie apocalypse.
Facts. Facts. But yes, that's the end of my rant and rave about is console more secure and reliable than the PC. Very interesting topic. It's good to see what the outcome comes of the DDoSing and the clone effect that was happening. But yeah. Very, very scary times. Very scary times. So if you're an owner, make sure you keep your IP addresses quiet because on Xbox they're not required to direct connect. And that's why PC servers produce it, because they can direct connect. Yeah. So, Mr. Cutie, you got any business? You got any rollout?
Yeah, well, not so much business, just a bit of a convo.
Yep.
Something that I've noticed over the last probably few years, it just piqued my interest. So I'm a sucker for buying merch.
Yep.
Right? I've got a DayZ hoodie, maps, a few other things. But how do we feel when people start making their own DayZ products and their own DayZ shirts and putting them on the market to sell? Is it a good thing, or is it taken away from revenue for DayZ?
So I think your merchandise should represent your brand and not feed off the game or company that you are rolling with. You could have, in association with DayZ and a nice little emblem, but I've seen a few people have DayZ merch using DayZ logos and stuff all over it. To my knowledge, I thought that was copyright.
Well, that's what I thought. But you can still go on websites and buy DayZ shirts that aren't from DayZ.
Oh, shit.
Mm. And there's a lot of people that are printing all their own stuff and then putting them on Facebook groups and putting them online on their own websites to sell.
That's hectic.
So as Phoenix says, Etsy's full of it.
Etsy is full of DayZ merch.
DayZ?
So is it legit?
Well, I couldn't see it being legit if it's on Etsy. I really couldn't. How could it be from Bohemia? Because I was always thought that the only place you could get your DayZ stuff is from the Bohemia store.
Unless they link it out and Bohemia have got a store on Etsy.
On Etsy?
You'd have to have a look in Etsy and actually have a look. Yeah, so that's...
There we go.
You'd actually roll it that way. But Phoenix makes a good point on the back. On your IP is visible on your reset in your console and in the new description thing they have. Yep, that was the bad thing about putting that up. Sometimes you find a piece you like, but it's not sold on the official site, so you buy something you like or don't. Yeah, true. Phoenix was on it today. Hey, Mr. Northern. You can find merchandise on Temu and Amazon, which can be all different kinds of sellers. Ah.
Because that brings up to the point. The reason why I bring it up is because I seen a shirt the other day, and it's similar to like the hoodie that I've got. That's got your hydration, Apple, and all of those.
Or your stats.
But this one, but it was the stats, but it was all different colours. So it wasn't the official colours.
Ah. So like blues and stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah. So you can tell that it wasn't produced from DayZ at all. Yeah, but for people to be actively making stuff like that, they're obviously making money off it.
Well, it also puts it down to the appeal. Then there's got to be a market for DayZ merch.
Well, is it because a lot of the stuff from the DayZ store is quite expensive, and if you go into some of these small resellers, you get it for a cheaper price, even if it's not quite the exact thing.
Ah, okay. So you're looking at counterfeit stuff at a cheaper price. Well, like Queen bought me the Frostline Collection Edition, and that's got some absolutely hectic merch in it. I could see the DayZ frostline beanie being done, but I've got the glass cube with the three wolves in it and the guy holding a fire. I've never seen that anywhere.
Does he?
Yeah, I've never seen that anywhere. But the shirts and stuff like that easily can be redone. And DayZ merch is it is very overpriced. Merch is overpriced. Like I've been looking at.
I think.
Yeah, go.
Sorry. Well, my hoodie, because I got a hoodie, I think that cost me 90 New Zealand.
Fuck.
That's so expensive.
Yeah, and the collector's box, from what I remember, pricing it myself is over $300. But there is quality in their stuff. You get the bag that came with it. The actual bag that come with it is super high quality. But is it $300 worth of stuff? Probably. It's not $300 worth of stuff I would buy. But even looking at myself with merch, the closest I can get to a decent T-shirt with my logo on it at cost for myself is $30 Australian, and then I got to ship it. Now you're looking at nearly $50 for a T-shirt.
Which I think is about standard for any merch, though. Unless you're selling hundreds of items and get a bigger discount on it, that's not too bad.
Yeah, but I can't charge someone $50 for a T-shirt. I'm not Prada. I'm not Gucci. I'm not... I wouldn't pay $50 for a T-shirt.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
my
I mean,
biggest problem. I don't look at it as, oh, I can make X, Y, and Z. I don't want to sell my merch to make profit. I want to sell my merch so people can be a part of the role with it, part of the community. That's why I'm looking in beanies and hats now. They're a bit more easier to ship and a little bit more affordable at the $10, $15 mark.
yeah.
Yeah, no, the children probably make it for 2 cents thing. Child labour is not as big as it used to be, especially when you can get a T-shirt mass produced off a machine. They're doing 5,000 every hour, and then they're taking those shirts and running them through a printer. And it's not someone has to suffer from it. What they do is they use inferior products to make the merchandise, so you get a shitty product for a high price.
Yeah.
But hopefully some of the merchandises change. I believe from what we were talking about last night, that's one of the DayZ community, Adriana or Ariana, or I can't remember her name, currently got a job offer to be merchandiser for DayZ, and she does some absolutely fantastic merchandise.
Ooh.
So we might see a change in the wind of that. Keep an eye on that. Yeah, that's right. Chemicals and stuff like that. No, 100%. And merchandise is a big thing when it comes to, how you ethically want to do things. Some people don't care and just want to make out the money. Me personally, I would rather give you a quality product that's going to last you well before, after I've gone and I'm out of the spotlight of the DayZ world, rather than something that you just go, well, I got ripped off by this prick.
Well, that's part of the reason why I brought up the question about the merch from DayZ and the merch from resellers. Because, for example, the hoodie that I've had for almost 3 years now, and that's still well holding in there. It's still in really good condition. And
Yep.
it gets worn quite a lot.
Heavily
You know,
abused.
but and if I bought say cheaper, I don't know if it would have lasted as long.
Yeah,
You know,
that.
would the decals start peeling off by now? Would there be rips coming off in the seams? You know, so paying that little bit extra, not only is it supporting the company, but I've also got saying that's a good quality product.
Yeah, and that's what I find value for money is where it's at when it comes to merchandise. And if you're going to use it, as you say, you've had it for 3 years, you abuse the shit out of it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to the point now where I'm a bit bigger and I don't wear it. Now it's sitting in my bloody son's bedroom, the little shit.
You grew out of it, did you? He cops the hand-me-down. Yeah, clothes are, these days are made for to look good, not for functional. That's correct. Correct, 100% all the way. Definitely a cool topic to bring up. Merchandise, too expensive. And should you be getting it off cheaper from other stores, getting off the knockoffs? To be very, very wary of the knockoffs. Yeah, I think the patches. I got a frostline patch that I got with my kit. They're pretty cool with the Velcro back. I might have a look at investing in patches. That being said, some great merch on SD that Bohemia don't make. Well, and that's the thing. You know, you're talking about once you got the market up, if you look on, Bohemia Interactive or the DayZ website, there's not much on there. There's some cups, there's some shirts, some beanies, jumpers, cup big packs,
And then
stickers. That's it.
they are also very limited on their sizing.
Yes, that's the other thing. I think I got my Discord shut down because it was being painful and beeping all the time. We might last from 12 to lunch. How do you say that, Mr. Noah, in German? But yeah, I'd definitely like to see some of the screenshots, and we might dive into a little bit more of this in coming weeks about merch and the quality of merch over the price. Oh shit! Okay, cheers. Next time I'll get you to say it. Halt von Zwot bis Mittag. He's like, you just butchered the shit out of that, Greedy. Butchered the shit out of it. All right, well, that's pretty much the end of our show, done and dusted for the day. Mr. Q, where would you like to go battle?
Well, there's only one place Q battles.
We go melee.
Yeah, go punch on him, Malik.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to come and join us, we're on the TPG minigame. There it is there. We're about to dive into his bedroom. To dive into the sword and mace scenario. To punch the shit out of each other. He beat me last time, so if you want to come and join us, give us some backup, you're more than welcome to. All right, Sir Q, you shall die.
Get it on.
Die a horrible
Never.
death. Fucking got me on the first run. See it, we're tanking up this time. Wanted to go a little distance.
Yeah, get out of here with your pitchfork.
I don't need to get out of here with a pitchfork. It's got the distance. That's all I need is a good bleed. All you need is a couple of good cracks with that around the head. Come here, Q! Oh, fucking...
Yeah.
I need that bleed. Now I'm going to get serious. Get the warhammer out. That's it. Warhammer time. Oh, oh, he's going in hard. Fuck you.
Yeah.
It's on. Oh, I don't know. Ah. That's all right.
Yeah, I don't mind this guy. Come on.
Oh. That's all about the reach. All about reach. Yeah, you thought you broke my leg. He's calling the sword. You want to go sword down here?
Yeah, a bit of a switch up.
That's it. Oh, there's people.
Hey, you look a little bit sore there, mate.
Not me. Not me. I'm good. I'm still good. Oh, he gets him another. Oh. Oh.
Yeah, now you...
Oh.
That's it. Step down, step.
Ah. Oh, there it is. Get that reach. Oh, you're looking like you're stumbling there, Q. You're a little sore.
Yeah.
Never fuck with a peasant with his pitchfork. No one could run. Oh, yeah, that rattled him. Yeah, you pull out your mace. You spray it hard. Charge! Oh, yeah! Oh, no! Pitchfork. Oh, shit. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have for our podcast. We'd like to thank you all for coming in and dropping your 2 cents in.